We've covered 6 episodes of deep SETH material, Framework 1 and 2, electromagnetic emotions, the body as belief made visible, impulses, simultaneous time, the natural self, money as creative flow, the art of allowing. But life is messy, stress happens, old patterns creep back. How do I make this a sustainable practice, not just a series of insights I forget by next Tuesday?
I mean, that is the absolute perfect question to ask right now. It really is. It's the exact question that every single serious student of this material eventually has to confront.
Yeah, because the theory is great, but applying it is a whole different beast.
Exactly. You get this incredible rush from the insights and you feel so empowered, and then, you get a flat tire. Or you get into an argument with your spouse.
Right, and suddenly all that high-minded philosophy it vanishes.
It just evaporates, right? But I want to ground us today with a specific quote. This is verbatim from Chapter 12 of The Nature of Personal Reality. Seth says, "The realization that you create your reality frees you from being a victim."
That is such a powerful line. It frees you from being a victim.
It really is the core of it all. And today, our whole mission for this deep dive is integration. We're stepping away from just theory. We want to give you, the listener, a simple, repeatable practice to actually maintain conscious creation even when your daily life gets incredibly chaotic.
Which, let's be honest, is basically every day for most of us.
Oh, absolutely. So to build this practice, we first need to quickly synthesize the key teachings we've been unpacking over the entire Level 2 series. Let's start with what we covered early on regarding Framework 1 and Framework 2.
Right, the whole concept of the physical world being just a projection.
Yes, the living picture. Physical reality is just the screen. Framework 2 is the source. It's the projection booth where everything is actually constructed.
And our beliefs and emotions, they act as the blueprint and the fuel for that construction, right?
Exactly. They are the highly specific filters pulling events from Framework 2 into your physical life. But, and this is where people trip up if you aren't aware of what you're projecting, those telepathic mass beliefs can just pull you right back into the dominant cultural fear.
Oh man, yeah. You turn on the news for 5 minutes and suddenly you're terrified about the economy.
Right. You just absorb that mass telepathic suggestion. So that's the foundational awareness. Then, moving into what we covered next, we have to look at the body. The body is a constant, ongoing communication system.
Not just a machine that occasionally breaks down.
No, not at all. Symptoms are direct messages from the inner self. They're physical manifestations of blocked energy or conflicting beliefs. And on the flip side, impulses, those sudden natural nudges to do something that is your direct guidance system.
Which we usually just ignore because we're too busy.
We brush them off as distractions, but they are the literal language of your psyche telling you how to move fluidly through Framework 1.
Okay, so that covers the frameworks and the body. Then we got into the concept of time, which is just a massive mind bender.
The illusion of linear time, yeah. The crucial takeaway there is that the point of power is now, always now. Because time is simultaneous, you aren't chained to your past traumas.
Right. You can literally reframe the past from the present moment.
You alter the cellular reality of the past by changing your focus today. And underneath all of those learned limitations and past stories is the natural self, the unmasked, spontaneous you.
And that ties perfectly into what we discussed about money, too.
Oh, entirely. Money is just another symbol of creative flow. It's an energy exchange.
And the art of allowing that flow is so much more powerful than forcing it.
It's the difference between swimming with the current versus exhausting yourself fighting upstream. But here is the most important part of this whole synthesis, and Seth is very clear about this. He does not expect perfection.
Really. Because sometimes reading this stuff, you feel like if you have one bad thought, you're going to manifest a disaster.
I know, that's a huge misconception. Slipping back into old, fearful patterns is completely normal. It's just a habit. The practice isn't about never having a negative thought again.
Okay, so what is it then?
The practice is simply to shorten the gap between slipping into unconsciousness and remembering who you actually are.
Oh, I like that, shortening the gap.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off. And if we look at the magical approach, Seth points out that the spontaneous self already knows how to live this way perfectly. Your cells know how to heal.
They don't need a manual.
Exactly. The conscious mind's only real job is to just relax and trust that innate intelligence. And we see this reinforced in the way toward health, too.
Right, because that book deals a lot with maintaining these belief shifts when things get really bad physically.
Yes, maintaining the shift during a crisis or an illness. And the principles are exactly the same whether you're dealing with a health crisis or just a stressful week at work.
So it's all about catching yourself when you drift And trusting the spontaneous self to self-correct.
Precisely. And I think it's so important for you, the listener, to know that Jane Roberts herself, the woman actually channeling all of this profound material, she did not master this overnight.
Not at all. I mean, her journey is so human and relatable.
It really is. She kept these incredibly detailed journals where she tracked her conscious beliefs and the direct physical results they produced in her body.
She was essentially her own test subject.
She was. And reading those journals, you see that some days she just completely forgot the philosophy.
She'd get caught up in the stress of publishing or paying the bills.
Yeah, some weeks she slid right back into worry, into blaming external circumstances, into deep frustration with her physical symptoms.
Which is exactly what we all do.
Exactly. But over years of doing this, the practice eventually became second nature to her. Her life completely transformed.
From a struggling, often sick poet to this incredibly joyful, globally influential teacher.
Yes. And the journal was her anchor through all of that. It wasn't just a diary. It was the active tool that caught her when she drifted into fear and gently, objectively brought her back to the point of power.
You know, that is actually really encouraging. It reminds us that this whole thing is a practice, not a performance. You don't have to get an A+ in reality creation every single day.
Nobody does. It's just about the gentle return. So to help you, the listener, build that muscle of returning, we've distilled this massive 12-chapter journey into an integrated, practical framework.
Okay, I am so ready for this. What are we calling it?
We are calling it the 6-day SETH Reality Audit.
The 6-day SETH Reality Audit. I love it. It sounds actionable.
It's very actionable. We've condensed the core teachings into 6 daily focal points. You take it one day at a time. So let's break it down. Day 1 is all about expectation.
Expectation.
Okay,
so what exactly are we doing on day 1?
On day 1, your only goal is to notice just one strong expectation you have that day. It could be anything. You expect traffic to be awful, or you expect a meeting to go badly, or maybe you expect a check in the mail.
So you just catch the expectation in real time.
Yes. And once you notice it, you pause and ask yourself one specific question. What belief is generating this expectation?
Oh, wow. That's digging right into framework 2.
Exactly. Because expectations don't come out of nowhere. If you expect a fight with your partner, it's because you're holding a belief that relationships are a struggle or that you aren't being heard.
Right, so day 1 is just making the invisible belief visible.
That's it. No fixing, just noticing. Then we move to day 2, which focuses on emotion and telepathy.
Okay, so dealing with that mass weather system of collective beliefs.
Precisely. On day 2, your assignment is to notice one telepathic suggestion from your environment or the media.
Like a news headline about a recession.
Or even just a coworker complaining about how everyone gets sick this time of year. That is a telepathic suggestion trying to become your reality.
So what do we do when we spot it?
You internally firmly say to yourself, I decline that suggestion.
I decline that suggestion. Just a hard boundary.
A conscious boundary. And then you do one 60-second feeling pivot.
Okay, walk us through the feeling pivot. What is that?
It's simple. You've just declined a negative suggestion, so you have a little void there. For 60 seconds, you intentionally generate the feeling tone of safety or abundance or health. You don't need to visualize a specific outcome. Just generate the raw emotion for 1 minute.
It's like changing the channel on a radio. You just tune into a different frequency for a minute.
Exactly. It disrupts the old pattern. So that's day 2. Now, day 3 is all about the body and impulses.
This one is huge because we get so disconnected from our physical selves.
We really do. So on day 3, you are going to do a 2-minute body scan conversation with just one body part.
The conversation, like talking to my knee.
Literally checking in with your knee or your stomach or your shoulders. Wherever you feel tension, you just put your attention there for 2 minutes and ask, what are you holding on to? What message are you trying to give me?
And you just listen for whatever pops into your head.
Right. And the second part of day 3 is to follow one small impulse.
Just one.
Just one. It has to be something you'd normally dismiss, like taking a different route home or eating something unexpected for lunch or calling a friend out of the blue.
Because that's the inner self giving you real-time direction.
Yes. You are proving to your conscious mind that it's safe to trust the spontaneous self.
I really love that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to day 4.
Day 4 tackles time and identity. This is where we deal with the simultaneous time concept.
Oh, this is where we get stuck in our past stories.
Exactly. So your task for day 4 is to catch yourself telling an I always story.
Oh, man. Like, I always mess up my taxes, or I always attract toxic people.
Yes. Those are the stories that reach into the past and drag that trauma right into your present cellular structure. When you catch one of those "I always" statements, you pause.
And what do we say to break that loop?
You say, "That was then, I am creating now."
That was then, I am creating now. It recenters you right back in the point of power.
Exactly. You cut the cord to the negative past. And to reinforce that, on day 4, you do one thing that feels like your natural self.
Something unmasked.
Yeah, something you genuinely enjoy doing just for the sake of it, not for productivity or approval.
Like painting or just sitting in the grass.
Whatever feels natively true to you. Okay, day 5 is allowing and flow.
This is the antidote to forcing things.
Exactly. The action for day 5 is the 10-minute receptive pause. Before you start a major task, maybe, before you open your laptop for work, or before a tough conversation, you literally do nothing for 10 minutes.
That sounds terrifying for a type A personality.
It is, but you just sit and you open yourself to the flow of framework too. You stop trying to manipulate the outcome.
You just let the engine idle for a minute.
Yes. And while you're in that day of flow, you also pay attention to your money story. Notice what beliefs pop up when you pay a bill or look at a price tag. Just notice if it feels like forcing or allowing.
So just bringing awareness to that specific area of energy exchange.
Right. And finally, we arrive at day 6, which is integration and rest.
Rest is an actual step. I love this audit.
Rest is crucial. On day 6, you review your week. You just look back and notice any shifts, however small. Did a headache vanish? Did an unexpected check arrive? Did you just feel a bit lighter?
You're gathering evidence that the practice is working.
Exactly. You acknowledge the progress, and then you rest. You trust. There is no forcing on day 6. You let the new belief structure settle into your physical body.
Because it takes energy to build these new pathways.
It does. And I want to emphasize, this is a cycle. You don't do this for 6 days and then graduate forever. You can repeat it weekly.
So it's the structural habit.
Yes. Each week you run the audit, that muscle gets stronger. And to really cement why we do this, there's a brilliant quote from The Magical Approach that sums it up perfectly. Seth says, "The magical approach is to trust the spontaneous self and to follow its impulses with faith."
Wow. To trust the spontaneous self and follow its impulses with faith. It's so simple, but so profound.
It really requires a total paradigm shift away from our culture of micromanagement.
Okay, so this brings us right to the ongoing practice assignment for you, the listener.
Yes, this is where the rubber meets the road.
We want you to start the 6-day audit tomorrow. And we mean tomorrow. Start with day 1. Don't try to overachieve and do all 6 at once.
Please don't. That defeats the whole purpose of ease and allowing.
Exactly. One day, one focus. Tomorrow is just expectation. At the end of the week, notice what shifted. The goal here is absolutely not perfection.
Let me repeat that. The goal is not perfection.
The goal is simply returning to awareness a little bit faster each time you drift.
It's about shortening that gap between panic and the point of power.
You know, reflecting on this whole journey, when we started level 1, I really thought manifesting was just about vision boards. You know, cutting out pictures of cars and saying affirmations in the mirror.
The pop culture version of reality creation.
Exactly. But then level 2 showed me it's about the deep structure of reality, the very fabric of how we exist. It's biological, it's electromagnetic, it's the fundamental physics of consciousness.
It changes everything about how you view your own agency in the world.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's not just a neat trick, it's a completely different way of inhabiting a human body.
So as you go out into your week and you start this 6-day audit, just remember to be gentle with yourselves. You are learning to operate the machinery of the universe consciously. It takes time.
But the power is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us. Remember, the point of power is always right now. We'll talk to you next time.